Welcome to the Tristan Dunn Show. I am your host, Tristan, and today we have a very special guest. He is near and dear to my heart. He gives me shit all the time.
That I
Donnie,
do.
some call him Donnie, some call him Donnie Betts. Welcome to the show, man.
Thanks, buddy. I'm glad to be here, man.
Hell yeah. All right. So we're going to do a quick little recap of week 3 NFL. So going into the week, I was 12, 17, and 1. Pretty bad 2 weeks. Now we have got back to 500. We are 22, 22, and 1. We had a 10-5 week on the money line. We do money line picks on the show.
Gotcha.
Overall, I felt like the week went about as I expected. We had a couple of upsets with the Jags. We had them on the money line. That went well. How'd your week go? How'd your weekend go?
It started out really good Saturday. I was up, I think 10-1, and then the wheels fell off. So, that happens from time to time, though. It's still overall, I was up for the week. That's all I'm going to ask for.
Yeah, Donnie, he'll never admit it himself, but he's a pretty big deal at DraftKings. So,
Hey man, I got the shirt. I don't know if you can see it.
I can't see. You got the DraftKings shirt on?
Yeah, I'm going out tonight, so DraftKings shirt.
Are you going to a DraftKings party?
Something like that. Yeah. Basically, I do some stuff for them, like, interviews and things like that for the VIP membership stuff. Yeah. So they talk to me a lot about how can they improve the VIP program? How can they, make it better? And listen, I'm nothing special there. Don't take that as that way. But I do have good ideas, and they've implemented a couple of them. I saw one last year where we were discussing some of the live options that they didn't have, and within 2 weeks they were all up, and I was like, holy shit, I said that. Like, they took that to heart. So are they gonna make, nobody's perfect, but right. So yeah, I help out any way I can. I mean, because I want a product I can bet and not have to go to 18 different sports books, but yep. If I have to, I have to.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait for DraftKings and FanDuel to come to my state. Sure. I don't know when it's going to happen. We were one of the last states to get the lottery. We'll probably be one of the last to get sports betting as well. Couple of quick notes, and you can even touch on this because you were mainly involved with it. We now have merch on
we do.
Coach's Call. So if you go to coachescall.store, go ahead, Donnie, because you know a little bit more about it than I do.
It's under the merch store at coachescall.store. It's something that me and you both have worked, a lot on. I mean, you did all the graphics on them, but I'm in there every day testing the back end and making sure the ordering part works and making sure that I can link it to our site. Since I designed our website, it's only a WordPress website, so it's not super complicated. But in the same sense, I wanted it to be a smooth transition because they didn't want to use our SSL certificate, nor to use theirs, which I understand. I mean, I get it. And it was just easier than bulk ordering and stocking them somewhere, because where are we going to stock them? We're going to stock them at your house or my house or Rick's house. One-stop shop. But we've already got, I think we got 8 items up yesterday, and then I've already got the basketball hashtag coming up that says slam dunk on it, but the but the S's are money signs. So but the cool thing is, like, it's, I don't know, it's just a way to support like your friends, and if you've got a friend says, man, I've got a good friend of mine, and he already wanted to order one today, and he was like, hey, can I get that cash it but bigger? I want it big. And I was like, I don't know, we'll find out. Let's see. So he doesn't bet a lot, but he just wanted to support me, and right. I thought, well, that's kind of cool. So yeah. It's up, it's working. I think we've had a couple of orders today. It went up late last night. I know he had one in queue, and I was walking him through it, so I was like, oh, I can see that. That's cool.
Have you ordered anything yet? I was actually looking.
I have a big order coming in. I did a bulk order for myself and for all of us that stream. And I think it comes in 2 weeks or a week and a half. So we've got 50 shirts coming in a variety of sizes. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
I did
Heck,
that.
heck yeah.
So you'll get a few, and Rick will get a few, and even J Love gets a few,
And Russell.
and Russell. So yeah, so
Heck
it was
yeah.
just something. It was something kind of cool, but yeah, we're already working on the next wave and different things. So it's just a process of getting it started. But I wanted it to be easy enough so that if we wanted to change something, we could change something without having to do a whole redesign. So
Right.
like on the back, it'll say coach's call, but then if we want to change the name or add something to it, we can without it having to pay that $25 every time you do something. So
So
yeah,
if one of you are from the Discord watching this, or if you watch the show and want to come to the Discord and want to make suggestions, all you got to do is
yeah,
drop one right in the suggestion box, and we'll work on it.
yeah, and we were able to do some custom stuff. So like, let's say that you wanted to do let's say you want something with your name on it. It's like I want coach's call with just Tristan on it. We can make that happen. It's not very much. It's like a $5 extra, but it's printed, so it's not shitty.
Right.
It'll look it's the same 3D print. And basically we had to design the screen for it. And then it's got a block where we can just add lettering. So that's kind of how we made it work.
Heck yeah. Also, if you were watching this on YouTube, this is the first official show on
Yeah.
YouTube. We are also Coach's Call is also going to YouTube. I'm actually working on both today. So
Sweet.
we're entering a new market, a market
Yeah.
we should have been in a long time ago, honestly.
And it's something that's, and me and you talked about it. It's something that I started doing. I was writing articles. I've written articles
Yeah.
for a variety of different subjects over the years, and I realized that it's just outdated. I mean, that's all there is to it.
Yeah.
So I moved over all of my tennis picks. Last night was the first one with the podcast picks, and we're going to make it so that not only me, but anybody can do podcast picks and get them up on the coach's call. And we can do them for baseball or football or basketball or whatever. But right now it's tennis for me, and they're really early games, like 1 a.m. So
Dude,
they're
I
gonna go up
listened to the
late at
podcast
night,
at like 5:30 this morning that
and
you
half
did.
of them are already done.
They were all done. I was like, I'm gonna jump on some of these real quick, and they were already done. And I was like, well,
Yeah,
damn, I missed
I
them.
posted that at 9 o'clock last night, and I
Yeah.
was like, hey, you better get on them quick because I think the first one starts in like 3 hours.
Yeah.
And by the time I woke up, I was 3-1-1 or something, and I was like, okay, cool, off we go to the next one. So
Heck yeah. All right, Donnie. We're gonna get down to the nitty gritty.
let's get down to some good stuff.
Let's get down to some good stuff. We're getting ready to head into week 4 NFL. One of the biggest things we like to look at is trends through the first few weeks. We have a nice sample size now.
Sure.
It's hard the first few weeks to go in there and bet. Sometimes, especially like week 1 and 2, it feels like you're blind betting a little bit. And the first 2 weeks in the league were a little rough. But I feel like they were for me, not for you. But see, it reversed, and then this week I did pretty good.
That's true.
What are some trends that you are noticing in the league right now?
One thing that I noticed this week was the money line, or the money. When I say follow the money, it tightened up really tight this week. I mean, there wasn't a lot of good suggestions on games, and some of the stuff moved really late based on injuries and things like that. Like I flipped from the Packers to the Bucks,
And I flopped to the other side.
and then right before the game, Julio was out. Everybody was like, Julio's in, and the money just came pouring in.
Yeah.
And then, I guess maybe an hour before game time, he was like, no, they're not playing. So could it have been the Bucks trying to, slow roll his injury? Maybe, we don't know. So, but I noticed the trend started week 1, slowed down a little bit in week 2. And now it's, it was the money line. The money across the board was really tight on which side was getting it. It was hard to decipher. Also noticed that underdogs got better as we went through the season. The first week, I think we had only 5 of 15 games or something like that. And then it moved up to 7. And then this week, I think there were 9 underdog winners. Let's see.
There was a lot.
There was Bears. Or no, there was, Titans, Colts, Dolphins,
Jags.
I was going down the list. Panthers were favored, weren't they? Or they were a
No, they
dog,
were
right?
they were dogs.
Yeah, they're like a 1 or 2 point dog.
Yep.
So Panthers, Jags, um, Falcons, Packers, and Cowboys. So you had 8 this week.
It was
So
it was
that's
a little tighter this week.
and not only
Definitely.
that, of those 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All 8 of them won outright. So not only did they not just cover, they covered and won.
Yeah.
So that's huge. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
actually, it was 9 because the Texans covered but didn't win.
Lions also covered but didn't win.
So yeah, you had 10 dogs.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
10 times the underdog covered. That's a big number. So
I
yeah,
ki-
it's completely flipped.
My
But I don't
weekend
expect
was
it to stay that way.
heck no. This is one of those weeks that you just Vegas just ate this week. I mean, they probably they collected a lot on people that rode the favorites, especially through the first 2 weeks when favorites were just killing it. People tried to probably keep riding the train and they just collected.
Yeah, and even then, you had some that it just didn't work out like everybody thought it would. So like the Browns game against the Steelers, like the Browns just showed up. That was all it was to it. They came out to play and kicked the Steelers in the mouth.
I mean, honestly,
Um,
the Browns don't have a bad football team. It's just Brissett's at quarterback, and so
yeah,
people assume they're going to be
yeah.
bad, and then they're just not.
No, they've got a really good defense, and their run game is one of the top in the league. I mean, between Chubb and I can't think of the other
Kareem,
guys. Yeah, Kareem Hunt. I mean, you're going to have some breakaways at some point.
yeah,
Chubb's the workhorse. Like I love Chubb. I mean,
he's a beast.
he comes to the game dressed in like I look, t-shirts and a
Yeah,
jean, and he's like all business, man. Y'all have. He's like Derrick Henry. Go look like a fucking Cam Newton or whatever, or
had to
Alvin
throw that one
Kamara.
out there, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Alvin Kamara, go look like, a little girl like Russell Westbrook or something. He's like, I'm just going to come in. I'm going to look like shit and I'm going to run a fucking ball. So,
All right.
that.
So those are some trends you've noticed. Now let's talk about these trash primetime games.
Why do you call them trash?
They have been bad, man.
They've been boring, but not bad. Here's the kicker.
Last night wasn't that bad in the second half. I will say that.
All right. So the Cowboys are one of only 3 teams, I think, that have won as a visiting team in primetime. So they won, but nobody else did in week 3. And then in week 2, I think the only one, I don't think any primetime visiting teams won in week 2. Nope, they didn't. In week 3, the Bills won and the Bucks won. So literally you've only had 3 of 3, 6, 10 games where the visiting team has won. So there's a trend for you.
Yep.
At the home team.
Yep. It's like it's like we talked about it, trends matter. But sometimes the trend is going to get broken at some point.
Sure.
But there's just some guys that they are not good in prime time. Kirk Cousins is one. Daniel Jones is apparently one, and I didn't know that. So
yeah, and Daniel's just had a bad run period. I mean, he's been, anytime a big moment comes up, he just chokes. I mean, he does.
Yeah.
And I thought he was over it, but I was wrong. I'll admit it.
He played really good the first 2 weeks, and I was like, man, I mean, I wasn't doubting the Cowboys as much as I just thought the Giants were playing that good. I mean,
I agree with you. I mean, it was hard to watch because you kept thinking Saquon was going to bust another one, or you kept thinking he's just got to make one pass. And down the stretch, and he never did. Instead, he just kept overthrowing people and underthrowing people, and
the first half was extremely hard because there was a lot of questionable calls in that game too, as far as flags, like the Sterling Shepard PI, the non-call on Diggs. But I mean, that's water under the bridge now.
Yeah, I mean, those are things that are going to happen no matter what. I mean, they do want to keep primetime games close. They don't want blowouts. They don't want that. But in the same sense, you still got to get out there and play the ball. Like you got to lace them up the same way as the guy across from you. So,
yep.
Go get
All
it.
right, guys. Well, this was nice, Donnie. I'm glad I had somebody to talk to this time instead of just talking to the mic. I'm
You're
not
welcome,
gonna
buddy.
keep you too long, but I hope you come back.
For sure.
And
Anytime, bud.
then tomorrow we're actually gonna bump up the Pick'em podcast a day. So
Yep.
we're gonna do NCAA football Pick'em tomorrow. We're gonna do NFL Pick'em tomorrow, and then we got whiskey and wisdom. And I'm gonna get fucked up when we do it again.
I don't doubt you a bit, buddy. I don't doubt that a bit. One of these days, I'll bring you some real bourbon.
Hell yeah. All right, Donnie. Appreciate you coming on. Guys,
like
we'll
this right
catch you
here,
on the next one.
if you can see it.
Peace
Well.
out.
Thanks,
Peace
guys.
out,
Hey,
dude.
Tristan, thanks for having me, buddy.
Hell yeah, man. Thanks for coming.
All right, see ya.